Hi, it's Phil here from Now Fix It, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fix ring floodlight lights not working. But when I say ring floodlight cam lights not working, there are actually a few different faults you can get on these. So this unit here, when it detects motion on a night, the lights don't come on at all. This other unit, the lights flash like crazy. And I'm going to focus on the one on the right where the floodlight lights don't work. Okay, so in the UK, this would be your connection. It might be similar for North America and other places as well, but your wires from your house will be coming to here, your live and your neutral. So I disconnected both of those, but now I'm going to reconnect a power supply onto there so that I can test this on the bench. And to do that, I've got a plug on a flex, and then at the other end I can connect those in. Oops, let's get it the right way. I can connect those in just as if I'm connecting to the house. Be very careful when you're doing this because obviously you can get a shock from this. I'm just connecting up the live and now the neutral. Now I'm just going to plug that end in and this will be powered up. Okay, so as you can see, this actually connected up automatically because it was a camera that I've been using in this location. And so I've just gone to the live view and now it's sending me pictures. So I know the camera's working. Now I'm sure that you know this, but the other thing that you can do directly from the app is you can turn the lights on. And in fact, I heard like a little relay click then or something, but no lights came on as you can see. So the lights aren't getting power. I've disconnected it again and now we're going to flip this over and we're going to investigate. Okay, let's have a look at what's happening here. So we know the power comes in. This live immediately goes down to the camera and to the PIR. And this white one, that's the neutral, that also goes down that direction. Now when the PIR clicks, then power comes back out this red wire. This is my understanding of it anyway. And as you can see, this is just a crimp that connects them. So it becomes a brown wire and it goes to this, which is the LED driver it's called. And as you can see, the LED driver already has a neutral coming to it. So basically all that happens is the PIR sends power to the LED driver. It's already got the neutral. So on the other side of the LED driver, bear with me here, a red wire and a black wire comes out. And when you look at how these are crimped in, and you can see these heat resistant sleeves, they power both of your LED lights on your ring floodlight cam. Okay, so what I'm going to do is test the LED driver. And to do this, what I want to do is send power directly to it, so not relying on it going through the PIR sensor. And then I'll also snip the wires on the output so that I can test these directly. So on this connection block that's inside the unit, as we can see the neutrals coming in, and that's fine, but I just want to remove that little white one just for now, just for testing purposes. So that's the white one off for now. Put the neutral back in. Okay, and now this is the live which goes through the PIR. We just want that out of the way as well for now. Okay, so this is the live that goes to the LED driver. I'm going to clip it because I'm going to make sure I leave plenty of length because I might need to rejoin it again. So I'm going to clip it about there and just strip some wire back so I can make a direct connection. Okay, so that's good. So as you can see, we just have a direct power feed to the input side of the LED driver. All this is just out of the way temporarily. So on the outfeed side, I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to clip those, leave plenty of length on so I can rejoin them if I need to. Like that. So now that's the spotlights disconnected. By the way, you can't send a direct power feed to the spotlights because they run on a much lower voltage. So if you're on your 240 volt or your 110 volt, then you would just blow them. And also they're DC. And that's the job the LED driver is doing. You see, it's converting the AC voltage down to a much lower DC voltage to power your LED lights. So let's get this stripped back just a little bit. And the same with this one. Okay, so we're ready to test the LED driver. Be very careful if you're doing this at home. I'm going to plug this in now. All of this side will have 240 volts AC on it, so I don't really want to be touching that. I don't want it to touch the edge of the casing at all either. And then these ones are a little bit safer because, like I said, they're a lower voltage and they're a DC. But I'm still going to make sure I don't touch them. I'm only going to touch them with my test probes from my multimeter. So let's get it plugged in. Remember me saying that there'll be DC voltage on these now? So that one there, that's the symbol for DC. So I'm going to turn my meter to that. And we'll see if we're getting any voltage out of the LED driver, shall we? Okay, we're getting something. But can you see it's jumping up to 2 to 3 volts or something like that? 3.5. Well, these LED lights, they take up to 36 volts DC. So we're getting a piddly amount of power out of those, but it's not enough to activate the LED lights. So that suggests that the LED driver is the reason why our ring floodlight lights aren't working. So let's strip out that LED driver and we can replace it, and I'll talk you through that. Disconnected the power supply to this again, very important. And then the LED driver on a ring floodlight cam is only held in by this little brace bracket that you can see. So there's a screw at the top and then a screw at the bottom. Okay, so that can come off. And then we don't need our testing wire anymore, so I'm just going to disconnect that. And now this driver will just lift out. Okay, so there's gazillions of LED drivers out there. This is your code that's on it, a YD 24 watt version 2.0. You may or may not get a hit for that when you're searching to buy one of these. So this is a 100 to 240 volt unit. But the important thing is, when you have 240 volts, which I do, then on the secondary, that's the output from the LED driver, it says 27 to 36 volts DC. If you're on the top end of the input voltage, you'll be on the top end of the output voltage. Now, if you're down near the bottom, let's say you're in North America and you have 110 volts, you'll be down near the bottom, so you'll get 27 to 28 volts DC out. But anyway, you need a replacement unit that has those inputs and that output. I'll try to find some links to these. I've bought this one from Amazon in the UK, and if I can find one on Amazon.com, then I'll put a link to that as well in the video description below. So this is my replacement unit here. You can see it doesn't look exactly the same, but it has a similar input voltage. And then as you can see, it's a very similar output voltage. So it says 21.5 to 36 volts DC. So I'm hoping this is going to fix our ring floodlight cam. Okay, so let's get this new LED driver installed. One final thing to say about it though is that this new driver I found is IP65 waterproof rating, which means it's highly waterproof, which is good for an outdoor device like this. So I'm going to mount it in there. Doesn't fit quite as good as the old one because it's a little bit smaller. This is what I found as a piece of packing, so it's just a piece of foam. It's a lot better. Now regarding wires, it's always worth just taking a few photos when you disconnect something so you can see where it goes again. That's what I do. So we know that the white one and the neutral that goes to the LED driver go into the same side. And we know that the live side of this little block goes down towards the camera. So it's that one. So I'm just going to put that in there. This next bit we have to either do some crimping, so you can just crimp those together, or you could do some soldering. And I prefer to do soldering because it means I can put a heat shrink on, which seals it quite well from the weather. So I'll go get the soldering iron. So we'll quickly get these soldered up and then we can test it on the app and make sure it's all working as it should. There we go, that's one. All there is to it. If you haven't done much soldering before, all I did was make sure there was a pool of molten solder on the end of the soldering iron, because then that means when I touch it to the bottom of the wire, then it's transferring the heat into the joint. And then once I know that the joint's nice and hot, then I just started feeding some more, you know. So it's not too difficult, you'll get a feel for it over time. The other thing I like to do, as I mentioned before, is shrink sleeve these. So I put the sleeve on first. That's like soldering 101. Is don't forget to put the sleeve on first, because you won't get it on after. Just a little bit to trim there, isn't there? Okay, just one for this one as well. So you can get waterproof crimps, but like I said, I just prefer shrink sleeve for its waterproof qualities. Looks super tidy too, doesn't it? So as I said before, once I had it all wired up, we'd pop it back onto the app and we'd test it. So I have my connection here for the test lead again. So I'm just going to power that up. Spotlights are working, as you can see. Normally when you first power up one of these units and it's been turned off for a while, then it'll put the spotlights on initially. But anyway, the thing that you're most interested in is the lights. And as you can see, I now have control of them again. And there's no reason that these won't work once the unit's installed again on the outside of the house. So there you have it. If your problem is Ring Floodlight Cam lights not working, that's how you fix it. And if the video did help you, then please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next video. All that's left to say is, you've watched the video, now fix it. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.